It's going down like this, motherfucker.
This shit is crazy. The following
Nigga get mad. Say, motherfucker, what you mean you ain't gonna let me in this funky joint? Much money I done spent in here, nigga. I knew your mama when she was hoeing. Hump, baby. Shit, bet I do it over time. Fade that, nigga. Shit. Bet the ball. Off time. Shit, boy, I'm trying to make me some money. Boy, I'm hungry as a hog need. Slap Jesus. Shit, gotta be a Jesus, cause too many black folks. Shit, boy, I'm trying to make me some money.
Limousine, and every time I'm seen, I got to be clean.
Got to have vision. Got to have vision.
Don't touch, don't.
For what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite together among ourselves, among our own kind, clean ourselves up, rid ourselves of the evils that we've become addicted to here in this society, and try and
Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man. Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man.
This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying. This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying. This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying.
I just left a light in. I just left a light in this bitch.
You hear what I said?
Yes, bitch, I heard you.
You hear what I said?
Yes, bitch, I heard you.
You hear what I said?
Yes, bitch, I heard you. I'm pretending like I didn't.
Well, gotta get a piece of my
Hey, where are the white women at?
Your feet. He looked down, seen his feet. The nigga went berserk, killed the monkey, threw the bat out the window, start kicking that bitch in the air.
Say anyway, but I will. The way quantum entanglement works is that you can take two particles, quantum entangle them, and then take those two particles and move them at any distance in the cosmos. And let's just say, for example, if you quantum entangle two electrons and you have them spinning in the same direction, and then you take one of those electrons and you shoot that thing out 100,000 light years from the original. If you then rotate the spin on the one electron, if you modify it so that its spin changes, the quantum entangled electron at any distance will simultaneously in no time switch its rotation also, because they're quantum entangled. So these communication systems are taking advantage of this aspect of quantum mechanics that most people can't wrap their heads around, and this is what they're utilizing. It's just the new level of science that affords us the ability to communicate at any distance instantaneously. Can you?
Group of you together, you never can tell who's who. Group of you together, you never can tell who's who.
I've seen a lot of black guys, Nipsey, but you're overdoing it. My eye, plus I'm in love with a bitch I can't stand.
I mean, TikTok. A lot of the white content creators on TikTok get all of their dances from the black content creators.
You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. I think very deeply.
Hey, dance with me. Hey, dance with me. Oh yeah.
Hold up. You don't know nothing about that shit, bitch. All in your business. Hold up. You don't know nothing about that shit, bitch.
Damn white boys out there. Most of them is psychopaths and all that. They'll kill your mama's mama and you.
Decent white folk that still don't know they're racist.
What the hell you want here, hunky?
Don't know me, want it.
I don't mean to be out of line.
Where's all that noise? Where's all that noise? Where's all that noise? Oh, that's just dad.
You got to pray to God and tell God your rent due. Any God that didn't know your rent was due ain't God.
Your lines are still open. Oh shit, you can get it, nigga. You wanna get it?
Come with baggage, just I asked Louis was on.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, that was nice.
I like that.
Bitch niggas, hoe niggas, rich niggas, broke bitch. I told niggas this was on, yeah, right here.
The Chinese platform, you already know they don't give a fuck about your black ass.
Used to snort cocaine, now I fiend for the check, yeah.
Heavy, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I come. I hit the loot juice, it pulls up in the dude. Heavy, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I come. I hit the loot juice, it pulls up in the dude.
I guess you go to the history of European civilizations. 250 years is how long they last before they implode because of their greed, because of their violence, because of an inability to let others be, including themselves. If they didn't have brown and black people to hate, they would hate themselves.
Some people, they feel like you almost have to sell your soul to get fame, or is it just hard work, or is it luck? Is it consequence? Is it?
No, most of us done sold our soul. We just called it something else.
To the east. To the west. To the south. Above. Below.
Greetings. This is Big Pontiac, and welcome to the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am the holder of the infinite sacred ball game that was created by the Hero Twins, and I am that one and only Galactic Daddy-O, welcoming each and every one of you to my galactic patio that reaches from Minnesota to the universe. All right, that must mean I should come on in. Face everybody. All right, we got Tim Colosipian. What's up, Tim? Elmero Almaroon Khan, also known as El Descent. welcome Dr. Sinister. Jesus Saves. And Max V Production, who makes all the good music. Thank you for coming on in. So you know, it's like, I don't know. It's hard for me to be like everybody else and talk about what everybody else talks about. I mean, I guess the hot subject is they went after, you know, Uncle Imbecile again. They went after him. So they say. The only thing I could say about it, I'm gonna briefly talk about it. The only thing I could say is if they're going after him, and it's because as you know, even when it's real, it's fake. It's because I think they think he's going to win. So it's not a lot I want to say about it because it's not that interesting to me. I fuck with people over politics just because I know it's a trigger thing. So I fuck with people over it on Facebook because it triggers them. I mean, these people act like they work for the government. You know, they're saying vote blue and all this shit like they work for these motherfuckers. I mean, and it just shows you the mentality of melanated folks. It don't matter if they put Pee Wee Herman in there. Melanated folks is going to go for it. Especially some of my old teammates and people I'm friendly with Facebook. They can put Pee Wee Herman up there, dress like Pee Wee Herman, and they would still say vote for him. And it's funny, you know, I read the book, The Dying of Whiteness, and one thing a person said about Obama is like, I'm just tired of seeing him on there. And then a year later, I heard my mom say the same thing about Trump. You know, I read the book and then I hear my mom say the same. And there's my wife. It's like, I'm tired of hearing Trump. You know, she's like, can you mute it while it's commercials? So I started muting when the giggler comes on. When Kamala would come on, I'd start muting her shit. Because it's like, it doesn't matter. It's all a gimmick. They already know who's going to win. Your vote doesn't matter. Your vote only matters for local elections. Your vote does not matter in the federal election. That's what makes the local elections more important than the federal elections. You know, they don't matter. And so to get all tied up and caught up in all this, and, you know, even if somebody did try to kill him, it's still fake. And it's like the same with the Kennedy assassination. You know, if you really do a deep study, you see that Kennedy ended up being Jimmy Carter. That's why Jimmy Carter only got 1 year. It's like if you do a study of two people, you can do a study of. Look at Jimmy Carter was in World War II. World War II, and then so was John F. Kennedy. They both was in World War II. And you look at their pictures, and then you look at the older Jimmy Carter that became president from Georgia. And keep in mind, he was the bluest of blue bloods. He related to Washington and all the motherfuckers. I think he was the closest to Washington, and then was Jimmy Carter. Now, almost all the presidents, but 2 or 3 were related, which you should know. It's one family that's put their family people in. And the other person is Morgan Freeman and Jimi Hendrix. Look at Morgan Freeman's pictures and then look at Jimi Hendrix's pictures. Both of them was in Vietnam. Well, Jimi Hendrix didn't go to Vietnam, but both of them was in the army around slightly different times, but look at them both. And so it's very possible that they switched them. And they put Jimi Hendrix in the electric company. Then they finally let Jimi Hendrix, you know, act. And so Jimi Hendrix got to live his life as Morgan Freeman, which it could be. I'm not saying absolute, but it could be. It's something that you could look at and say, this is a possibility. It's just like the same with Joe Biden. You can look at Joe Biden and say, well, when he first started, that was Tom Hanks in makeup. You know, you remember Mission Impossible, they can put these masks on, and these masks, how real, but that's what it appeared like. When Biden first got elected, it appeared like it was Tom Hanks. And then they stop having Tom Hanks and look at him, you know, stuttering his words, don't know nothing, old man. So you can't put anything past these people because it's all Hollywood. It's all Hollywood. And it's all, you know, the government is nothing but stealing money from the people under the guise of taxes. Under the guise of taxes. But, you know, like really what realistically should be done around the world, and this not me being naive, is all the American ships around the world should come back to America. All these troops around the world should come back to America. We shouldn't have troops anywhere. If whatever happens in Korea, let them the fuck decide it. Decide it. You didn't keep Vietnam split up like you kept Korea split up. And that's why all these people say, you know, that the Americans, and this me being a little imperialism, but to say that we lost in Vietnam is not true. We did not lose Vietnam. Our goal was to only keep the North from invading the South. As long as American troops was there, that's what happened. They did not come in the South. And we now just think, if they would have permanently kept people in Vietnam, they could have fought that war forever and kept the North out the South. And truth be told, if they would have invaded the North, they could have easily won the war. But they didn't invade the North, did they? They stayed out of the North. They just bombed the North. When you go to war, you take their capital. In 1848, when they went all the way to Mexico, they went to Mexico City. And they captured Mexico. That's what gave them California, Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada. They captured it. That's what war is. You go to their capital. So, Walter Walking. I think people think this shit is real. It gives you mental illness because you're watching a soap opera and it's not supposed to take it. It's not supposed to be a comedy. Thank you for joining Walking with Jesus. That's a good way of put it. It's a way of people keeping their sanity, I guess you could say. But Quantum of Science does say it best. Even when it's real, it's fake. It's still fake. And so, you know, that's this politics. And keep in mind who makes money from politics. How come only the TV networks make money? The ad companies. Used to be the papers and the ads, but now it's just the TV, radio, streaming. They're the only people. It's a finite amount of people that make money from this political system. There's not a lot of people make money off it. It's a handful of entities that make money off the political system. And we're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars. And it makes you wonder now private people can give their money who they want to, but it's so much more could be done if they say, okay, let's quit fooling the people and let's take this money and invest this into the people. You dig? Let's take this money and invest this money into the people. Because it's a waste of money just making the same corporations richer and richer every 4 years, every 2 years too. I mean, it's such a waste of money that only goes to a finite group of people that could be used a lot better if everybody benefited from it. Kyan Redface, what's happening? Again, yeah. I mean, did the conquistadors ever go away? Why do they speak Spanish? You know? My man Macbone, we was having a conversation earlier, and you talking about like going in South America and all the black folks still down there. Going into southern Mexico and still seeing all the black folks in there. Because remember, it's Mexicans that look Chinese from when the Chinese or Japanese and Chinese both came over here. There are Mexicans that look French, and there are Mexicans that look Spanish. This is who, you know, conquered America, and this is who they blended with. And there's original people that you don't hear about that often, but they're still down there in South America. They're still black looking folks. I mean, melanated folks was everywhere. That's why, you know, when they say fear of a black planet, well, it was a black planet till about 6,000 years ago. So you wonder who the aliens, who were the aliens? Dread, what's happening? Thank you for joining. So, you know, you just wonder who were the real aliens and why is a certain group of people always fixated on space and the lie of space. And like they telling you there's 2 astronauts up there going around, but the most they can do is, what did they just send up there? They send it like you know, in what was 1800s, a dude took a balloon. 1700, he took a balloon far as he could up in space. Then the dude did it again in 1960. So that's all they can really do is go up there. I mean, it's all the space shuttle was a plane that could go in high orbit, low orbit. That's all it could do. Like the Sputnik wasn't nothing. Sputnik was just something like you could probably see it like an airplane. That's all they could do. Yes, the Nazis was able to build big rockets. That's how they fooled people, to say, well, you know, we got men on top of that big rocket. So it's all a joke, and it's not something to be taken. Tyler, what's happening? And I do want to address somebody, and I'm going to say this. So someone said they felt offended by me wearing the Redskin jersey and the Redskin hat. Now, why is it that natives is the only ones that feel funny about the Black Hawks, Fighting Sioux, Warriors? Why is it just the natives? The American Indians, that was the black folks that was here, we're thankful that that stuff is out there. They're trying to erase that. And natives are playing right into their hands. Why would you be offended seeing a melanated person on a hat? The sweetest jersey of any sport team is the Blackhawks. Ain't nobody trying to talk about take that away. Where's a melanated person on that represents Chicago? Which is rightly so, because Chicago was discovered, well, people traded there forever, but first time settled by a brother. So it only seems like a small group of people are offended by that kind of thing. So I'm just saying, brother, you know, if that offends you, don't watch me, because I'm proud of that kind of stuff. I am not offended by that at all. And to see all these names erased makes that's erasing history. That's what they don't understand. We want those reminders to be up there of what was done to this country, not erased. You take took Uncle Ben off the rice box. You took the sister off the pancake box. Why? Why? Who is that offensive to? I mean, what person went into the supermarket and said, well, damn, I don't like Uncle Ben on the box? Not understanding is they're trying to erase things. That critical race theory is the same thing. They're trying to erase things. So, Tyler, what's happening? So, I mean, you know, people are, what do you say, bamboozled. People become bamboozled by things that they should be accepting, not embarrassed by. I mean, now, I mean, just think if Aunt Jemima was now time, she'd be wearing a bonnet while she cooked. If Aunt Jemima was portrayed as a modern woman, she'd be wearing a bonnet. Shit, Uncle Ben might have a wave cap on. You know, the kind of wave cap where they had the back, you know, instead of it being tight, the back would flow down like one of the French hats. I mean, who does that bother? Who does that really bother? To see melanated people represented. So I don't know. I'm gonna wear the Redskin hat every now and then. I got 2 of them. I only got 1 Redskin jersey. I might get more. I'd like to get a Doug Williams. I went to I had a checkup and the dude had a Doug Williams. I got the Doug Williams Buccaneers. I don't have the Doug Williams Redskins. So that'd probably be a jersey I'll look for. I'm pretty sure I could find it. First brother to win a Super Bowl. That ain't nothing not to be proud of. Well, all right, I'm going to get right into my football stuff. I got to get up early, so I'm not going to be on terribly late. So my football stuff turned out, I end up without the Monday night game, I end up 9-6. I won the Chiefs and Bengals. I took the Chiefs. I won the Bills and Dolphins. I took the Bills. Giants and Commanders. I won that one. I lost the Cowboys and Saints. I won the Browns and Jaguars. I lost the Buccaneers and Lions. I lost the Packers. Packers played a lot better than what I thought. I won the Chargers. I won the Seahawks. I lost the Ravens. Won the Jets. Won the Vikings. Lost the Rams. Won the Steelers. And I lost the Bears tonight. And so either I'm going to end up 9-7 or I'm going to end up 10-6 when the Eagles win tomorrow night. Eagles should beat the Falcons easy. So got that out the way. One more other thing I'm gonna break down is I'm gonna do a quick review of Beetlejuice. And Beetlejuice is the funniest movie. Did I say what's up? Tyler, yeah. What about a Cleveland Indians hat? I got a Cleveland Indians hat. Yeah. And now what's interesting is if you try to get the Cleveland Indian chants, I think his name is Chief Wahoo. They're expensive. They're like 60, 70 bucks. But yeah, I got a Cleveland Indians hat too. So I'm gonna do a breakdown of the movie Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice was funny. I mean, I didn't think the first one was funny, but this movie was funny. It was a great screenplay. I mean, you talking about laugh out loud. I'm busting out loud. So, and I mean, the acting, Michael Keaton, I mean, he just does an amazing job. I mean, he's funny throughout. You know, he's not like Will Ferrell, hammy. He's funny. I mean, you know, he's clever. His timing is clever. Winona Ryder, I mean, the facial expressions she makes through what she goes through. The girl from Disney that played in Wednesday, I mean, she is really, really, really good and expressive. But the funny parts is like, now y'all know that the original dad that played the original dad in the first one, his name is Jefferson or Jones. You know, he got caught up in child porn. That cat got caught up in child porn and he has to register. And that cat got caught up where he hired a 15-year-old boy to take naked pictures of him more than once. So that's why he's not in the movie. And the way they introduce his character, do y'all remember when 3.5 Men interviewed, you know, the last show, Charlie was animation? That's what they do to this dude. They make him claymation like, and they show that his plane sinks and he gets bitten too. So what's funny is it is so clever, and it's gosh, what kind of humor is it? Well, anyway, it's so when they show his tombstone, so he gets bit by a shark. So apparently he made it when the plane crashed. He jumps up on the plane wing, and then a shark just comes and bites him in two. And so when they're at his funeral, the funeral is shaped. The tombstone is clear, like clear plastic or glass with his picture in the middle, but it's shaped like a shark fin. And I mean, it's just little clever things like that in the movie. Now, one part people won't get is when the wife, Maureen O'Hara, I think is her name, and she was one of those from SCTV. So you had John Candy, you had Maureen O'Hara, you had Eugene Levy, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, that little dude, and there was another guy, y'all probably, I can't think of his name, but these people was all part of Primetime Players out of Chicago, the Primetime Players out of Chicago, but that group was from Canada. And so what you had is the Primetime Players from Saturday Night Live, from Chicago, Second City, excuse me. They were actors from Chicago, Second City that did skits. So all of them was together at one time. So one group went back to Canada, made SCTV. The other group went to Saturday Night Live and did Saturday Night Live, like Belushi and all them. They was all once part of Second City. And that still goes on. So Maureen O'Hara was part of that. She was in Home Alone. Eugene Levy is famous from Apple Pie, and the one guy was from Honey, I Shrank the Kids. And the other guy I'm thinking about, there's a movie out there called Strange Brew, which Michael Myers ended up copying to make his goofy movies. Totally excellent, them goofy movies. But anyway, to get back to Beetlejuice. So she's doing like a little seance in front of his tombstone. And a lot of people would miss this. She had candles burning around, and she was kind of circle, but what she had that represented the circle was she had one of the old Edison kind of music box that was round. And so she had herself kind of circle with the candles, but to represent the circle, she had the old kind of Vitrola, is that what it was called? But the old fashioned Edison type of where you put the cylinders in, or even maybe it wasn't the cylinders actually where you put the record in with the steel needle, but it had the big circle thing that pushed out the sound. So I was like, wow, that's interesting. A lot of people would miss that part. That represented the circle of what she was doing when she was holding the memorial. The funniest part of the movie was one ghost tricks the Wednesday girl into swapping his soul for her soul, and he has to get on. She has to get on the soul train. Now this shit is literally, they show goons and shit being the soul train. So when people die, they have to go on to the soul train. And I mean, niggas is pop locking, and you got a little midget doing the work. I mean, this shit is hilarious. And then they got a dude on the train, got a deep voice like Don Cornelius. This shit was funny as hell. I was like, oh, these niggas is dancing, you know, because niggas be dancing. When they put niggas in TV shows, they be dancing, you know. But clever, done very cleverly. But what's interesting, and people don't understand about even the first one, like if you get into Wes Pineri's work, Wes Pineri is one of the few that talk about the middle place. Now he kind of says Acoustic Records, which you can visit without dying. But what he writes is basically like a hallway where you can learn how to be dead. And that's what a lot of the movie's about. Because remember, Beetlejuice is a demon. He's a demon. But a lot of what they emphasize is being in the hallways. Like Danny DeVito is a janitor, he's mopping in a hallway. They making people get tickets and wait in like a hallway. So it's the middle ground, middle passage, like Wes Pineri describes. A lot of people would miss that part. Even the model of the town, you'd go into the town was your start of going down, and then you would go into the middle ground. And Wes Pineri, you know, you want to look West up. I think I'm still friends if he's on Facebook. I used to be friends with him. So, so yeah, it's a funny movie. The dude who gets bit with a shark, like he can still talk. Like he's bit with a shark, and it's nothing but like he's bit like this, like his head and all this is gone. So you just see like kind of where the shoulder bones are, and you see the torso, and he can still talk out of a spout in his mouth. And then the wife like thinks she buys vipers that are supposed to be, you know, with no teeth, and she's doing a seance with the snakes. You know how the snakes, you know, they want to say the snakes are holy, and the vipers bite her and kill Marino, kill her and stuff. So it's a decent movie. The next thing I want to talk about is kind of jumping back in sports is what about it? The next thing I want to talk about is the LSU game. The LSU game was so crooked it made no sense. They took away 2 touchdowns from South Carolina. The one touchdown wasn't really I didn't really think it was a crackback, or not a crackback, but the person not looking and the block. The dude clearly blocked the dude with his hands. He went up to the quarterback and hit him with his hands just like this. Now, it wasn't necessary, so it could have been he did it to take the play away, which I kind of got that feeling that he was doing things to take the play away, because it wasn't necessary when he did the blind side. That's what they called it, but was it really? And how, like you have to look at, why did they look at him? You know, why were they looking at him instead of not looking down? So it was like, I think he did it on purpose. Because remember, now they're all actors, They're getting paid like actors should. And that's what I thought. I thought he did that penalty to bring that play back on purpose. South Carolina player number 5. But some of the other plays was just, it was like the players wouldn't be on script, and the referees kept them on script. And now they're calling for a deep investigation of them refs, because it was blatant. I mean, it was really blatant. And it wasn't blatant in the, like I said, sometimes when they do these sports things, they want to keep the game alive. It wasn't that. It was blatant they tried to help them. It was blatant. And I think South Carolina number 5 tried to help them too. But blatant the way they helped them, you know, like it was like obvious cheating, which, you know, so if you guys watched that game, I don't know, that was pretty bad. I mean, if you're gonna script it, most of the time when they script it, it's not looking as bad as that. But that was a pretty bad script. So wanted to put that out there. And you know, I didn't have a whole lot tonight. I just was gonna go over those little things. As I said, I gotta go over. I didn't watch the Emmys. I don't give a damn about that shit. I already talked about Trump. So, you know, I don't really have a lot. This was gonna be a kind of short session. You know, I've been walking every day, get 4 or 5 miles in walking, which is good. I didn't walk today because today's football day. Oh, I didn't hear this. Tito Jackson died? I did not hear this. Tito Jackson died. I did not hear this. When did he die? Wow. Wow, I didn't know this. Tito Jackson died. So this is the second sacrifice. Wow. 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 His name was Daryl. Daryl. He was 70 years old. Wow. Daryl Jackson has died. Suffered a heart attack while driving from New Mexico to Oklahoma. Was he by himself when he was driving? Tito leaves behind his children, Taj, Tyrell, and TJ, and 9 grandchildren. So this must have just happened. Wow, they took him out in a car. And he always got the derby on and shit. Wow, this is crazy. He was 70 years old. 70 years old. Wow. And you know, he was trying to think which one played the guitar. He played the guitar, and his brother Jermaine played the bass, I believe. But Jermaine was a good singer. He was the only one that really couldn't sing, but he could play the guitar. And I guess, you know, Joe was trying to get them all to sing, but he proved to Joe that he could play the guitar. So Joe was like, okay, I guess you can be our guitarist. So he was a guitar player. Now, he's not ranked or high on the guitar players. And I wonder how bald he is, but, you know, he was always known for wearing hats, you know, in which some people just like me, just like wearing hats. But yeah, Tito Jackson dead at 70. Wow. Wow. So Michael was first. Now Tito's second. Wow. Wow. So this is, you know, it's kind of, you know, it's kind of sad. You know, these cats, like the first time I saw that, well, I even go back further, and my brother is still on. Oh, PJ Allen, what's happening? If Quiet Redface is still on, I don't even know if he knew this, but Joe Branch and our Aunt Joelle, who was married to Joe Branch, knew Joe Jackson, and I saw, like, I heard the first demo, the first record they cut was called Big Boy. Cause I'm a big boy now. That's all I remember, but that's how I kind of went. Cause I'm a big boy now. But that's all I remember. But that was the first time I heard about him was through my Aunt Joelle. And then she was watching me one time. She said, look, remember that song I played for you? Because Big Boy is on their first album. And she had their first album and played it all day. So I fell in love with it then. And I was in kindergarten or first grade. Probably closer to the summer of going in second grade, I'm guessing, when that first album came out. Because when they was on Ed Sullivan's show, I was in third grade. So yeah, so I would say the first album came out probably 68 with ABC and all that on it. And they was on Ed Sullivan in I think 70 though. 69 or 70, they was on Ed Sullivan. So, you know, these are cats I grew up with. I actually saw them the first time in the Black Expo in Chicago. When the Black Expo, for years, the Black Expo was held in Chicago at Old Chicago Stadium. You know, the first stadium Michael Jordan played in. You know, so the Chicago Expo was held there. And that's the first time I saw them live. You know, Michael was doing the robot. That was the robot stage, and we had good seats. The stage was here. We was sitting on the side, like in the stands, but on the side right here, where they was like maybe 25 feet from us, really close. We had really good seats. Now, my brother didn't go. He didn't go with us. I don't think either time we went to the expos, because we went in 5th grade and 6th. I think we went 5th, 6th, and 7th grade. I went. He was younger. I don't even know if Steve went. I don't remember if Steve went or not. But that was the first time. And then I saw him on the Victory Tour with Randy. And I liked the way Randy harmonized better than Jermaine did. You know, Jermaine was like, don't take it personal. Take the bitter with the sweet. I love some Jermaine. But man, yeah, that is mind blowing. Let me write that to my wife. Let me write that to my wife. I bet they ain't gonna have a big ass funeral for him like they did Michael. Yeah, I bet they don't have a big funeral for him like they had a Michael. So, yeah. So I don't know if I'm gonna get an hour in or not. I ain't got a whole lot to say. You know, I don't know if I should philosophize or not. I really ain't got a whole lot of Oh, there is one more thing. I gotta get up to show y'all this shit. Let me show y'all this shit. I ain't bought no shoes, and I'm like, I don't have anywhere else to put shoes. I'm not gonna leave shoes outside in the garage. I mean, I do have my old pairs that I don't, no box or nothing, but new pairs, I'm not gonna keep them out there. It's not really good for them. The weather fluctuates, in the winter it's gonna be super cold. That rubber and that cold being frozen, them shoes are probably cracked. But anyway, let me show you what my newest thing I bought. Give me a second to get it. Now, I'm from the Midwest, and you know how we do it in the Midwest. We wear furs. And this is fox, baby. These are two big fox tails. And you see it's a midriff-like kind of deal. Comes to about... Oh... And this is called a diamond cut fur. You see the way the pelts are? I mean, this shit is super soft. Heavier than a motherfucker, though. This shit is heavy. But, yeah, I got a great deal on this. And this motherfucker is super bad. Now, as I said before, usually when you get furs, you get a size up. I think I could have got a double X and it'd been fine. I mean, it's not terribly big on me, but this one ran true to size. But shout out to Dude's Boutique in New York. This is where I ordered it from. The quality is great. It is by Winter Furs. And, this is my fourth fur coat. So I've got a rabbit, which is by Winter Furs. I've got a Shirlene lamb. And I have a mink coat, mink coat. Just dark mink. And this is the silver fox. And I thought about getting the jacket, but the jacket didn't have all this. And like my wife said, where am I going to wear it? Well, when it's cold outside and I get in my car and it's cold, I'm going to wear it. So. And so, did I need it? No, I did not need it. But my goal was, I was going to get a Coyote Matthew Henson. I don't know if y'all know who Matthew Henson was. The first brother to go to, he's the first brother that went to the North Pole. And he had a nice coyote kind of deal. And that was my goal. But yeah, I watch stuff, and when stuff goes on sale, that's when I try to get it. I got this for $300 off. Yeah, $360 off. So I watched and it never went on sale. I thought for sure that it would go on sale this summer. No. When a lot of the biggest sales hit was Labor Day. Labor Day, it had $300 off, and I couldn't resist. I was like, that's what I've been waiting for. So I got a good deal on this coat. Yeah. And so it's hot, so I got to take it off. Oh, I tell you the funniest story I saw of a mug wearing a fur coat. I had taken a picture of an old dude that was he was in McDonald's and he had the hat and had his fur on. I was like, "Go ahead, old pimp." So, you know, that's just I'm a clothes guy and I'm a coat guy. I'm a clothes guy and I'm a coat guy, you know. I'm a shoe guy. And that's, you know, I think that's what's the difference between me and other sneakerheads. You know, I'm still like, I like clothes too. I ain't just a shoe guy. And this summer I did go a little crazy. I must have bought, wow, just this summer. Wow, since June, I've probably bought 20 pairs of shoes. Yeah, just since June. And so, you know, I kind of went a little overboard this summer. But again, you know, I'm liking shoes. Like I mentioned, I'm not getting another pair of Jordans until the 11s come out. The Carolina Blue 11s, I think I'm going to buy them. Because the shoes come out every other week. It's just, but like I said before, I don't wear 3s. I don't wear 4s. I ain't crazy about the 5s. I like the 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15 is about that range right in there is the only one I like. 16, 17s. And then I started getting the I got the 33, 34, 30, well, we had 39. So I got the 38, 37, and 36s. So those are, you know, the ones I like. So, but that's the kind of stuff I'm into. You know, I'm into a little bit of everything, you know? So whatever your thing is. I got a bunch of winter coats there. I had to give away, as I said before, I'm giving some more coats away to a school drive. As I mentioned before, my ex's man works at a school and they're having a coat drive. So I'm going to give away some coats there. I gave my youngest son a bunch of clothes and coats. I gave him my bomber jacket. I gave him my bomber jacket. I love bomber jackets, and they had one for $400, but I had just bought this one, and it was a good deal because it's back up to about $1,200. But during Labor Day, that coat was $400, and that's what I paid for my rabbits, you know. But it was like I wanted it, but I didn't need it, so I didn't buy it. But I love bomber jackets. You know, I don't know if you guys look at the Tuskegee Airmen and shit, and the kind of because you know them planes didn't have no heat in them, so yeah, you up at elevation, it's cold up there, and so when they wearing the oxygen mask and you know talking like this between each other, they had to have warm coats. And, you know, I don't know if you want to look up George Patton. George Patton was a pimp. You know, he wore, even though he was a tanker, he wore an Air Force coat. Let me see if I can find, let's see. Let's see. Let's see if I can catch one of his pictures. Let's see. Here, this ain't really. See this picture here? This is a bomber jacket. This is a bomber jacket. He's in the Army, but yet he had such grace and style. He made it look good. Like even here, you know, even what he's wearing there looks good. He was always, you know, he pimped his military stuff out. And he was a racist, no doubt. He was related to a racist. His grandfather fought in Gettysburg and survived. Let me see. Is this still on here? There's some better pictures. Let's see. Or did my son erase it? My son, when I wasn't using the computer, he erased a bunch of my shit. Let's see. Ah, there it is. I don't want to do this. It should just put me in. Ah, here we go. So where can I look at it? Oh, PJ, did you like the Texas jerseys that had the horns on the thing? I thought that was kind of sweet. Oh, this is where I look up here. I think. What do I? Oh, right here. Search. Okay. All right. I mean, look at this shit. Like, I've always said how good the Nazis looked. But look at that shit. Look how good this motherfucker looked. This is a statue of him. But this is cool. And he got the pearl handles. That shit is pimpy looking. That'd be a great Halloween costume to wear. And he still has, his own insignias on here. But that's a pilot's jacket that he's wearing. But he wears the other one I saw. But even look at this shit. Now remember, the tanks took the place of the cavalry. So he's wearing horse riding cavalry boots. He's wearing the cavalry pants, and he's holding a cavalry whip. This is a whip that you'd have with a horse. Now these are called Eisenhower jackets. These are Eisenhower jackets. So when you see these tight jackets that fit you bodily, and this is Eisenhower jackets. But I mean, this motherfucker had style. He had style. This is with all this shit. This is how bad the motherfucker they felt about him. They gave him all this shit. And he didn't mind wearing that shit. Now, this is Audie Murphy. He was the most decorated man in history is Audie Murphy. More than sacrificed. He was in cowboy movies, played a slight heartthrob, but Audie Murphy is in a movie called From Here to Eternity, where this motherfucker was so bad, his men was trying to escape, a tank was on fire, and this nigga was shooting at the goddamn Germans on a tank that was burning. He was fucking the Germans up on a tank that was burning. That's what kind of bad motherfucker he was. No, a lot of y'all. Like, look at the difference between these two. Look at his style compared to his style. You see? Can't even compare it. Can't even compare it. And then again, the Eisenhower jacket comes from Eisenhower. Chain smoking, died of a heart attack, Eisenhower. Let's see, he even got one of his sub-commanders, Got the winter jackets on. But look at that. Look how cool that looks. And this is a football helmet. Let's make no mistake about it. This is a football helmet from the 40s. He was the one that came up with the tankers wearing the football helmets. Let's see. I ain't think MacArthur looked as good. Let's see if we can see more MacArthur. This is how MacArthur looked. Straight army. So, and this is kind of lame looking. Guess if it's full of weed, it would be kind of cool. But this is MacArthur. Who, I'm an imperialist a little bit. MacArthur said it right. Why don't we bomb all these Japanese? Why don't we bomb them? You say we got atom bombs, let's bomb them. But nothing beats the way the Nazis looked. I had a picture where the Nazis is all standing on these stairs. All of them have leather coats on, and all of them is giving the Hail Caesar. That shit looked bad. That shit, Boss made, I've said this many years ago, Boss made the Nazi uniforms. If you know Hugo Boss that still sells at Macy's, yeah, that's a Nazi company. They made things for the Nazis. Just like Mercedes. The funniest thing in the world is Jewish faith people that drive Mercedes. Mercedes, remember one of the sweetest cars is Hitler's 6-wheel Mercedes? 6-wheel Mercedes. That shit looks so sweet. You talking about all-wheel drive. Well, 6 wheels is getting you through it. So, well, guys, that's all I had. I just want to do a short little show. I'll just try to leave you with some inspirational words. So there was this, death appeared, and death appeared near a kingdom, and death went into the castle, And then Death went into the king's chamber and stood over the king. And the king was startled. The king was like, what the fuck? And Death just looked down at him. He's like, what could you possibly want with me? This motherfucker yelled out for his slaves and his guards. None of them came. He's like, look. You know, so Death, he's like, why are you here? He's like, you know why I'm here. So he starts pleading with Death. He's like, look, I got a bunch of virgins that I can give you. You can have them. Just let me go. Death ain't having it. And then he looked at Death again. He said, look, I will give you my wife. Just let me go. Death was like, I ain't having it. He didn't say nothing. And then finally, he was like, look, the most important thing to me in the world is my son. I will give you my son if you let me live. And Death just looked unmoved and said, no, it's your time. And Death touched him, and all the life went out of the king. And Death wasn't done, so Death goes into the village. And Death sees a poor person's house and goes in there. And in there is a teenager laying down. He goes in there, and the teenager wakes up. And the teenager sits up and is kind of smiling. And he said, where have you been? I've been calling you to come to me, and you've never come. I've been ready for you to come to me, and you've never come. So I'm happy to see you, and I'm ready for you. So I'm glad you're going to take me. I have no regrets of you taking me. Because if it's my time, I'm going to take it on the chin. And Death touched him, and there he went. And so the moral of that story is, you can't buy your way out of dying, but you can't be afraid of dying. You can't keep all this wealth. It doesn't matter if you're a king or a regular person. When death comes, it comes. And there's really no way to get out of it. So you might as well face it. You know, you face danger. You don't run away from it. You face danger. And so death has been the one thing they want to hold over our heads to be afraid of, and that's really nothing to be afraid of. It's the next step. As I said the other day when I was on, when you step on a fly or an ant, you don't think nothing about it. Neither does that ant, because there's a lot more of them. And the thing is not to have any regrets. When it comes, it just comes. So, well, guys, this has been the Chocolate Mountain Show, my football review, my review of Beetlejuice. Just wanted to give you a little bit of that. Thank you for coming. I'll be back on Wednesday to give my picks. And so this has been the Chocolate Mountain Show. Till we meet again. What was it? What was it? Till we meet again, just so you know. Just so you know.